Today I had one goal in mind, put on 2 lightweight frame weapons, which is one of my favorite blink builds to use, and go ahead and wreak some havoc in the Crucible. We're going to be taking that into the competitive playlist and seeing what kind of fun we can have. For our shotgun here, I do have on the Reese Walker right here. You can see 95 range with a firmly planted and iron reach roll. This thing is my baby and I love it quite a bit. Pairing with that, we have a God Roll funnel web right here, small bore, accurized, perpetual motion, and rangefinder. Mix that with Vice Stinger and a range masterwork, and this thing is absolutely amazing. I'll explain a little bit throughout the gameplay why I love lightweight frame weapons so much, and especially these double lightweight frame builds with blink. And besides that, I hope you enjoyed the plays. But I think we're ready to get into it, so why don't we go ahead and roll that intro. So I gotta tell you, I'm definitely getting to the point where I don't think I can use any fun builds or off-meta stuff that much anymore if I want to truly move up. I did make a little bit of progress, which I'll show you at the end of the video once we get there, almost to Plat 2, but I mean, I could climb there for stuff like this. The thing is, with the comp playlist, it's just such long-range maps, so using a build like this is so tough. It really sucks. I wish there was ever, like, any closer range maps. Like, look at this. I put this build on, and then I get Eternity. This guy has heavy grenade launcher, so what I'm trying to do is bait him around this corner, see if I can get him to shoot it at me, and I can go behind the corner when I can. Throw an Axion Bolt there and do as much damage as I can, because I know if I can do enough damage, especially with Clarence weakening them, it was going to be able to kill. That's what happened. I went on after that, because I have my Devour proc, so I knew I could take the last guy out. Since I put my Rift down, before I killed that last guy, I actually spawned a Orb of Power from him, because I do have on the Reaver mod. I definitely suggest putting on the Reaper mod, if it's actually, you know, allowed to be used, since it keeps getting glitched out apparently and Bungie can't make their game work. But if you can use it, definitely recommend it. Throwing another Axion Bolt out there, you can see we got our nades back so quickly because I have 100 discipline, and every time we get a kill with Devour, it gives you some more grenade energy back. So you gotta remember that it doesn't just give you health back, but you're gonna get your nade energy back too. I love using Axion Bolts, especially with a build like this, because you want to use them to kind of corral your enemies into certain parts of the map, and then push them aggressively with your SMG and shotgun to get them exactly where you want. Now, I thought that this guy, the golden gun, was going to be pushing towards heavy, right? It makes sense. The person with the super on is the one that's probably going to be going towards the heavy, so they can stop you from getting it. For some reason, it was little Knucklefuck over here who was just flying through midair with his golden gun. I smacked him good with that Reach Walker there pot. My Nova Warp took out both of those guys, and he couldn't get his second sickle off, so that kind of saved us right there. This guy's trying to smack me down, but I'm using my shift into my blink to cover as much distance as possible with my Nova Warp, landing on top of his Tookish and taking him out right there, get a little annihilation to finish that match off, and it was a pretty good first match of the day, if I can say so for myself. My teammates were not the best things in the world, but the enemies weren't either, so I was able to carry it pretty well. I don't actually remember how much they helped me. I think I show you the scoreboard here at the end. I like to show you the scoreboard if I can at the ends of these matches. So yeah, you can see, yeah, Knee was good, Naya, however you want to say that, but Dido was, I mean, he existed. He died 6 times, you know, we both died 7. So even if you're not getting as many kills, it's completely fine if you're just not dying a lot, because it means you're giving your fragging players the ability to go out and get more lives, which means they can frag more. So it's completely fine if that's how you want to play. My style of play is very avoidant until I choose for it not to be. So what I mean is kind of like how I fought this guy, right? I did my best just to avoid him a bunch. I don't want to go in. I don't want to fight him. I don't want to go head-to-head with this guy for a little while. I want to piss him off first. I want to blink around him, get him really annoyed, and he's going to be sitting there talking to his boys through the comms. God, this guy won't just fight me. He's such a, you know, what I'm trying to say there, a pussy. Yeah. And then, when I have him annoyed enough, I go right in, I take him out when he's already frustrated and hopefully a little tilted before the gunfight. This match was pretty funny, of course. Again, here's what I'm saying. Look how long range this map is. And there's this guy on the other team. I think his name was like Excite or something. He was one of these tight. There he is. This guy's such a loser. I was smacking him up so much, smacking his whole team, even though I was using this hilarious double lightweight build SMG shotgun on a map like this and doing it successfully too. You can see even on Eternity with a build like this, you can succeed very well. You just need to play your ranges correctly. So you see I'm playing around here at Shrine. I'm playing in Cave over there because I know that's where the enemies are going to come. And if I can get them stuck in an area like that, just like I'm pushing right here, because if I get him stuck in an area like that, I can throw a scatter grenade down like that. I can get him just smacked up real good. And you can see I was just beating the snot out of that guy. He was a terrible player, and I started recognizing that they were terrible players. So what I was doing was just doing my best to fight them as much as I could. Take as many ones as I could. If I had a 1v2, every now and again, I would just kind of go for it. You see I'm just flying on enemies like this, taking them out. Again, he's a really bad player, so see, I was just kind of mapping him. Couldn't turn on his teammate quite right there, but I did some good damage. And I think my teammates might clean that kill up, and you can see in the end of the round here that we finish up the round. The only reason I'm dunking on that Titan so hard is because he starts bagging later in the match. We end up losing, I think, 2-3, so, you know, max rounds it could go, and again, that's just because my teammates weren't really there. I actually have a screenshot that I can pop on screen if you want to see that. I think I had like 17 kills. My teammates had, I don't think any more than 10 for either of them. One of them did pretty darn bad. I think one of them might have done like decently. I do want to mention right here, look, I smack this guy and I get a full void overshield, which saves my life, because if I didn't have that void overshield, I wouldn't have been able to take that much damage. I use my blink to get out of that engagement, and then as soon as I have my health back, I go back and I engage with the next guy. I'm looking at my teammate here. He loses his one, but I know exactly where the enemy was shooting from, so I throw a scatter nade there. Scatter nades are going to be the best and help you flourish the most when you start becoming a player who knows how to predict your enemy's movements. If you can predict where your enemy's gonna be, then you can throw that scatter nade there. That's gonna go right inside of their butt crack and absolutely light it up like a fucking anthill of fire ants are just nibbling on that cheek. And if you can do that, you're gonna start succeeding quite well. Here's where this guy starts emoting and stuff. He's emoting. He bagged a couple more times. I think I have where he bags for you guys in this footage as well. But you can see, man, he was clearly emoting and stuff because he was salty that he was getting his cheeks slapped when he actually had on like long range and stuff, and he's also a Titan. And there's just this Blink Warlock predicting his every movement with scatter nades and blinking on top of him and just shoving the barrel of my funnel web straight into his puckering puss and just pulling the trigger. And he was quite triggered himself, if I can say so. Even here, he's just clueless to me blinking on the side of him and then just absolutely whipping his cans before he can do anything about it. You can see him like scrambling. They're like, oh, I gotta get behind cover. But then his teammate's like, run, brother, they're over here too. I can't help you. And he's like, I'm just walking around the corner like, brother, you gotta help yourself. Clarence sucks the last of that guy's life straight out of his toes, which helps me get Devour, so I can keep going off with that if I can. That guy runs away, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to chase him down too much, which was okay. Blinking into the last end of the round here, though, unfortunately, my teammates died a lot, and you can see this is where he's bagging a lot, and I was just like, bro, are you okay? Little numbskull gets caught in another scatter nade there again. He's a very easy to predict player. That's why I started spraying down with my funnel up here, because I knew somebody as stupid as him, and there's the revenge bags, somebody as stupid as him was just gonna like walk around the corner for some reason, even though I already had more than half his shields off because of my well-placed scatter nade. He spawned right to my left again. So I was like, okay, screw it. I'm just going to beat the snot out of him again. Blink him with a shotgun, put him in the dirt, and he can taste my nuts from Saturday to Sunday for all I freaking care, because, brother, they are so far down his throat that he might be fucking not having a nice meal for the rest of his days, because he's not going to be able to get those things out of there, if I can tell you that much. I was doing my best just to clutch up these rounds, help my teammates out as much as I could. Then they honestly helped me pretty well here. You know, I hit some good shots, but I started getting hit pretty hard too. Luckily, my teammates cleaned up the guy that I was shooting here, and then we just kind of cleaned up the round, so I was really appreciative of that. It's nice when your teammates do help you out. Unfortunately, on the whole, they didn't quite have the skill they needed to help me really finish the match off, but I respect the fact that they were actually helping out, and the fact that I could smack this guy's booty cheeks back and forth 1,000 times and just put my nuts so far down his mouth that, I don't know, man, if I dipped those boys in fettuccine alfredo, he'd probably be licking them off, because that little guy just gets whatever he can, because mommy and daddy are definitely not feeding him to be a grown boy. Now you can see here we're on Javelin. I actually got a lot of Javelin today, which I was pretty happy about, because this is my favorite map in the entire game. I think it has a lot of good ranges, just like right here. This range works perfectly for a shotgun. You can go in with an SMG right here, just like I was doing. But then you come outside and you have a lot of good sniper lanes, pulse rifle lanes, hand cannon lanes, especially from here to B is a great hand cannon lane. You know, this map suits every kind of playstyle very well. I was having to do ballsy plays like that if I knew I wanted to win these matches, so that's what I did. I was using my blink to get around these guys as fast as I could, looking like Goku, freaking instant transmissioning around this freaking map, getting behind them, and absolutely giving them the smoke, clapping them with the hands when I could. Unfortunately, it's not always going to be able to get the best dubs, and when they have good sniper players, like these guys are hitting some pretty good snipes and stuff, that's when it gets a little challenging for me to do what I have to do. As soon as I killed that guy with an SMG, I flicked over and tried to get a good scatter nade on him. Unfortunately, it was a little bit to the right, and he didn't walk into it, but I was able to blink on him pretty well with a shotgun shot there and take him out. Teammate helped me clean up that third guy there, because I kind of whipped my shoddy shot. It happens to the best of us, but since I took out the first two, we were able to keep life advantage there, and that's what really matters. This got all the way to a 2-2 match, which was absolutely pretty crazy when you think about it, because we were doing pretty darn good above these guys, and luckily teammate was able to clutch up there with a Will of Radiance on the cap point, take the last guy out, and we did pretty good. You see good plus to the rating there, and very even teammates there. You gotta appreciate when you see a score lines like this, like we all had between a 1.1 and a 1.3 KDs, you know, with 12 or 13 frags, and it's just like, that's what rank should be. It should be those very even slash lines. Of course, you're going to have worse matches, you know. I have bad matches too. We are all going to screw up sometimes. Like, I missed that shotgun shot like an absolute buffoon. But hey, I went ahead and cleaned it up. I took the second guy out. Boom, immediate void overshield. Slap my rip down so I can grab clearance and start looking around the map to find this guy. Thought he was going to push through the hallway, but he actually came around back to me, so it was okay. I was able to flick on him and take him out pretty easily. I also have on some very fun stuff from the seasonal artifact. I recommend you put a point into this one mod that lets you get extra damage to your void weapons if you get a kill with your void weapon while you have abilities up. Depending on how many abilities you have up, you're going to be able to get more damage afterwards once you get that first kill with a void weapon. It's pretty good. I don't actually know how big the damage boost is. As far as I know, it is proccing. If it's not proccing in PvP, then I don't think it should show up on the left side of the screen. Since it is showing up on the left side of the screen, I'm pretty sure it's applying extra damage, but I could be incorrect there. So if you do know the actual facts on that, by all means, please tell me in the comments. I'd really appreciate that, because I always want to learn as much as I can about the nuances of the game. You can see here I'm using my blink to get into the spark into the rift as easily as I can, and blink is absolutely amazing for doing just that. Unfortunately, I had some knuckleheaded teammates on my team. I had one of these guys on my team blocked, I believe, unless that was a different match that I'm thinking of. Actually, that might have been a different match. Either way, my teammates just wouldn't give me the spark. And I was like, guys, please just give me the spark. I have blink, but they just like ignored my chats, and I was like, whatever, man. This is the last match I have for you guys, but a lot of good clips from this match because it was actually a pretty darn fun one. A pretty balanced teams. Everyone had some pretty fun loadouts out. You can see right here, this guy was aping in like he was King Kong. You can see on the left side of the screen, I have a kinetic damage boost, but I also have volatile rounds because I got a kill, you know, with my funnel web there, and then I have the boost to my kinetic weapons and my void weapons because I picked up an orb of power because I got a kill on that guy after placing my rift. So I had Reaper, so that's what got me the orb of power to begin with, and I also got a kill with that funnel web, which would give me even more damage boost to my void weapons because of that mod from the seasonal artifact like I was talking about. So you can see there's some really fun stuff you can do with these blink warlock builds, and just builds in general, to be honest with you. If you want to see a breakdown of my full build and strategies with these new seasonal artifacts and all the new mods in the game, and just a build like this with a void weapon, please let me know in the comments or join the Blinkfield Discord server, which I do have linked in the description and the top right, because I'd love to know what you guys want to see. If you want to see a breakdown of that, you want to see a breakdown of the fragments that I am currently using, go ahead, you just let me know, because I would love to showcase that stuff for you guys, just as long as I know that the demand is there for it. But I was just doing my best to get my teammates into the rift. They kept picking up the spark, which is fine with me. I don't need to get the spark. If my teammates are going to actually get it in, then I don't care who picks it up. You can see here I'm just doing my best to throw my body at the enemies and take them out to make sure my teammates do get in there. You know, sometimes I do deliver the spark in there myself. I think the last score might be me, but you can see right here, this was a situation, both my teammates were dead. It was me 1v3 against the world. I had to keep these guys away. If I didn't kill all of them, we were going to get scored on. So I take out the first two, flying with my shotgun on the last one. Nice little shotgun melee takes him out, and I immediately pick up the spark and start heading towards the toilet bowl side of the map. My teammate's ahead of me there, and I want to see if I can kind of help him and push together the best we can. I put down my rift so I can grab clearance, and also I have Reaper on for the next kill that I get. This guy pushed in with the cheesy Arc Warlock melee. My teammate let me down and let me die, unfortunately. So we did end up losing the spark capture on that round, which brought it to 2-1. That was fine. I had that guy volatile there. I smack him up. You can see left side of the screen again. Void weapon boost. We love to see that. Here's where I see a perfect opportunity since my teammate's already in his super. I'm going to go ahead, use this box as cover to blink into here. Easy peasy, nice capture. That is the end of the video, so if you want to leave me a like or subscribe, I really appreciate that. And if you want to see more content like this, then just know I have it coming out every single day. That is it for me today, though, so as always, have a great day, Guardians.